So this is just a quick little overview of constants and how we use constants in PHP. You can see right here that we can use this special word define in order to define a constant. A constant is like a variable except we cannot change the contents of it. So this is how I would assign the name, and this is how I would assign a value to that constant. So here's a couple of examples. There's one. I can define cool person and set it equal to a string. I could define tax rate and I can set it to a string, or I can set it equal to a number, for example. I could probably declare a constant as an array too. Here's a base URL defining as a string. Now notice, kind of not very consistent with my quotes, but in this case it really doesn't matter. If I'm defining a constant and I don't put quotes around it, PHP will know that that's what I want to name my variable. If I do put quotes around it, PHP doesn't care. It knows that's what I want to name my variable. Single quotes versus double quotes doesn't matter at all in this case, but they do matter when we decide if PHP wants to parse the contents of that or not. In this case, I don't care. So notice I can echo out the contents of that constant. I can do tests against the constant. We'll talk about if statements in a later segment. I can multiply a value by a constant, so I can use it in mathematical operations, and I can do something like this as well. I can have my HTML. Notice I've turned off my PHP. In my HTML, I can print out the contents of those constants. You'll also notice that we haven't seen this syntax before. If I open the PHP, turn on the interpreter, and I say equal, that's just a shortcut for doing an echo statement, so it'll print out the results there. Here are the results over here of that same web page, and you can see that it did exactly what I told you, and that's how it works. So, the end.